You were not born to survive. You were born to dominate. And yet here you are making peace with less, accepting the scraps from the table when you were designed to own the whole feast. You call it humility, but it's not. It's fear dressed up in Sunday clothes. It's weakness wearing a mask of wisdom. And today, that mask comes off. Today, we confront the enemy that has been living inside you, eating your dreams for breakfast and sleeping in the bed of your potential. Today, we kill the weakness. But first, let me tell you something that will disturb you. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It's living as someone you were never meant to be. It's dying with your gifts still wrapped. It's standing at the edge of eternity with a full orchestra inside you that never played a single note. That's the real tragedy. And if you're honest with yourself right now, if you strip away the excuses and the explanations, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You feel it. That hollow space in your chest where your purpose should be sitting. That restlessness at 3 in the morning when everyone else is asleep and you're lying there wondering, is this it? Is this all there is? Let me answer that for you. No, this is not it. This is not all there is. What you're living right now is not your life. It's a rehearsal. It's a cheap imitation. It's the trailer when you were meant to be the full movie. And the reason you're stuck in this trailer is because you've made friends with weakness. You've given it a name. You've given it excuses. You've given it a seat at your table, and now it's running your life. See, weakness is not what you think it is. Weakness is not crying. Weakness is not admitting you need help. Weakness is not falling down. No, weakness is staying down. Weakness is knowing what you're supposed to do and doing the opposite. Weakness is having the vision and choosing the television. Weakness is being called to greatness and answering to average. That's weakness. And it's killing you slowly, quietly, with your permission. I want you to understand something fundamental. You didn't just happen. You are not a cosmic accident floating through space on a random rock. You are an intentional design. Every manufacturer puts something inside their product that reveals what it was made for. A fish has gills because it was made for water. A bird has wings because it was made for the sky. And you have something inside you that reveals what you were made for. It's called potential. It's called purpose. It's called a dream that won't leave you alone no matter how much you try to ignore it. But here's what happens. Life comes at you. Disappointment shows up. Rejection knocks on your door. Failure sends you a friend request. And slowly, quietly, you start to believe that maybe you were wrong about yourself. Maybe you're not special. Maybe you're not chosen. Maybe you should just be grateful for what you have and stop reaching for what you want. And that's when weakness walks in. That's when it whispers in your ear, be realistic, be practical, be safe. And you listen, because weakness sounds responsible. It sounds mature. It sounds wise. But let me tell you something about weakness. It's a liar. It will tell you to wait for the perfect moment, knowing that perfect moments are myths. It will tell you to play it safe, knowing that safety is the most dangerous place you can be. It will tell you that you're not ready, knowing that nobody is ever ready for greatness. You don't get ready and then start. You start and then you get ready. That's how it works. But weakness doesn't want you to know that. Weakness wants you comfortable. And comfort is the enemy of purpose. Look at a lion. A lion doesn't roar because it sees prey. A lion roars because it's a lion. That's its nature. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need a degree in roaring. It just roars because that's what it was made to do. And you were made to roar, not to whisper, not to apologize for taking up space, not to shrink yourself so other people feel comfortable. You were made to take dominion, to create, to lead, to build, to impact, to leave a mark on this world that says you were here and things are better because of it. But instead, what do most people do? They spend their whole lives trying to fit in, trying to be accepted, trying to be liked. And in the process, They lose themselves. They trade their uniqueness for approval. They trade their voice for acceptance. They trade their calling for comfort. And then they wonder why they feel empty. You feel empty because you're living someone else's life. You feel empty because you're trying to fulfill someone else's expectations. You feel empty because you've abandoned yourself. Let me tell you a story. There was a farmer who found an eagle's egg and placed it in the chicken coop. That eagle hatched with the chickens. It grew up scratching in the dirt, pecking at grain, living exactly like a chicken. One day, a man passed by and saw this eagle among the chickens. He said to the farmer, "That's not a chicken, that's an eagle." The farmer said, "I raised it with chickens. It thinks it's a chicken. It acts like a chicken. It is a chicken." The man said, "No, it's an eagle, and I can prove it." He picked up the eagle, lifted it high, and said, "You are an eagle. You belong to the sky. Stretch forth your wings and fly." The eagle looked around, saw the chickens, and jumped down. "See," said the farmer, "it's a chicken." The man said, "No, it's an eagle. You just showed it to the wrong audience." The next morning, he took the eagle to the top of a mountain. He held it up and said, "You are an eagle. You were made for the heights. Stretch forth your wings and fly." And this time, when the eagle looked around, it saw the sky. It felt the wind. It heard the call, and it flew. That's you. You've been living in the chicken coop. You've been scratching in the dirt of mediocrity. You've been pecking at the grain of average. And you think that's who you are. But it's not. You're an eagle. You were made for the heights. The only reason you don't know it is because you're surrounded by chickens. You're listening to chicken advice. You're following chicken examples. You're accepting chicken standards. And eagles don't belong in chicken coops. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but you don't understand my situation. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my pain. And you're right. I don't know your specific story. But I know this. Your story is not your excuse. Your past is not your prison. Your pain is not your destiny. What happened to you is real. But it doesn't define what's possible for you. The enemy of your future is not what happened yesterday. The enemy of your future is what you believe about yourself today. See, weakness feeds on your past. It reminds you of every failure, every mistake, every time you fell short, every time you were rejected, every time you tried and it didn't work. And it uses that evidence to build a case against your future. It says, see, you tried before and failed. Why would this time be different? You're not smart enough, not connected enough, not talented enough, not blessed enough. And if you listen to that voice long enough, you'll start to believe it. You'll start to shrink. You'll start to settle. You'll start to give up before you even start. But here's what I need you to understand. Your past attempts were not wasted. They were training. Every failure was a lesson. Every setback was a setup. Every closed door was protection from something that wasn't meant for you. God was not punishing you. He was preparing you. He was building something in you that success couldn't build. Character, resilience, depth, wisdom. You don't get those things on a mountaintop. You get them in a valley. You don't develop strength by lifting light weights. You develop strength by lifting heavy ones. And your life has been heavy for a reason. Because what you're about to carry requires strength that only struggle can build. So stop apologizing for your scars. Stop hiding your wounds. Stop being ashamed of your journey. Your scars are proof that you survived. Your wounds are evidence that you're a warrior. Your journey is the very thing that qualifies you for your destiny. The places you've been, the pain you've endured, the doctors you've walked through, that's not your disqualification. That's your degree. That's your credential. That's your authority. Because when you get to where you're going, there are people who need to hear from someone who has been where they are. And you can't help someone out of a pit you've never been in. But here's the problem. Most people let their pain make them bitter instead of better. They let their hurt harden their heart. They let their disappointment dictate their decisions. And they end up living in reaction to what happened instead of in response to what's possible. There's a difference. Reaction is emotional. Response is intentional. Reaction is giving your past the power to control your future. Response is taking the lessons from your past and using them as fuel for your future. Let me ask you a question. When a seed falls into the ground, what happens? It gets buried. It gets covered in darkness. It gets pressed down by the weight of the soil. Now, if that seed could talk, it might say, this is it. I'm finished. My life is over. I've been buried. But that's not what's happening. The seed is not being buried. It's being planted. And there's a difference. Burial is an ending. Planting is a beginning. And what looks like your darkest moment is actually the setup for your greatest season. The pressure you're feeling is not trying to crush you. It's trying to grow you. The weight on your shoulders is not trying to break you. It's trying to build you. The darkness around you is not trying to destroy you. It's trying to develop you. But you have to stay in the ground long enough for the process to work. That's where most people fail. They abort the process. They get uncomfortable and they quit. They get impatient and they give up. They don't see immediate results and they assume it's not working. But growth doesn't happen overnight. Transformation takes time. And the very thing you're going through right now is the very thing that's preparing you for what you've been praying for. See, here's what I've learned. God will never give you something big if you can't handle something small. He will never promote you to your purpose if you haven't proven yourself in your preparation. And most people are praying for promotion while despising their preparation. They want the stage, but they won't practice in private. They want the harvest, but they won't plant in secret. They want the reward, but they won't do the work. And that's not how it works. There's no microwave for maturity. There's no shortcut to success. There's no elevator to excellence. You have to take the stairs. And every step you take, even when nobody's watching, even when it feels like nothing's happening, every step is bringing you closer to your breakthrough. But weakness will tell you it's not worth it. Weakness will tell you to quit. Weakness will tell you that nobody cares anyway. And if you listen to that voice, you'll stop right before the miracle. You'll give up right before the breakthrough. You'll quit right before the harvest. And 20 years from now, you'll look back and wonder, what if I had kept going? What if I had pushed through? What if I had refused to quit? Don't let that be your story. Don't let weakness steal your destiny. I want to talk to somebody who's tired. Somebody who's been fighting for so long that you're starting to wonder if the fight is worth it. Somebody who's been pushing and pressing and believing and hoping and praying and working and trying, and it feels like nothing is changing. I want to tell you something. Your consistency is not being wasted. Your faithfulness is being recorded. Your obedience is being noticed. And the moment you've been waiting for is closer than you think. But you have to outlast the opposition. You have to outlast the discouragement. You have to outlast the doubt. You have to outlast the weakness. Let me tell you what separates winners from losers. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's endurance. It's the ability to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. It's the ability to stand when everyone else is sitting down. It's the ability to believe when the evidence says give up. That's what separates the eagles from the chickens. Eagles fly into the storm while chickens run from it. Eagles use the pressure to lift them higher. Eagles thrive in conditions that would kill lesser birds. And you're an eagle. Act like it. Now, some of you need to hear this. You have been way too comfortable with mediocrity. You've been accepting average as if it's your portion. You've been tolerating less as if that's all there is. And I'm here to disturb you. I'm here to make you uncomfortable, because comfortable people don't grow. Comfortable people don't change. Comfortable people don't fulfill purpose. They fulfill paychecks. They fulfill expectations. They fulfill obligations. But they don't fulfill destiny. And you were not put on this earth to just pay bills and die. You were put here to make a difference, to leave a legacy, to change your family tree, to impact your generation, to solve a problem, to meet a need, to be an answer to somebody's prayer. But you can't do that from the couch. You can't do that scrolling through other people's lives. You can't do that watching other people live their dreams while yours collect dust. You have to move. You have to act. You have to step out of the boat. You have to take the risk. You have to do the thing that scares you, because everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you've been praying for is on the other side of obedience. Everything you've been dreaming about is on the other side of discipline. And discipline is where weakness dies. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is saying no to what you want now so you can say yes to what you want most. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is preparation. And if you're not willing to discipline yourself, life will discipline you. And trust me, life's discipline is much harder than self-discipline. Let me give you a principle. The enemy of right is not wrong. The enemy of right is good. Good is the enemy of great. Good is the enemy of best. Good will keep you from God's will faster than bad will, because bad is obvious, to run from it. But good is sneaky. Good is acceptable. Good is comfortable. Good will make you settle. And settling is the graveyard of potential. How many people are living a good life when they were designed for a great one? How many people have a good job when they were created for a great calling? How many people are in good relationships when they were designed for great love? How many people have good faith when they were meant to have great faith? Stop settling for good. Good is not the goal. God's will is the goal. And God's will is always greater than good. You have to understand something. You have an enemy. And that enemy is not your boss. It's not your spouse. It's not your family. It's not the system. It's not the government. Your enemy is anything that keeps you from becoming who you were created to be. Your enemy is anything that keeps you from doing what you were created to do. And sometimes your enemy is you. Sometimes you are the very thing standing in the way of your own breakthrough. Your mindset, your mouth, your choices, your excuses, your fear, your pride, your doubt, that's the enemy. And that enemy lives inside you. That's why the title of this message is Kill the Weakness Inside You. Because the battle is internal before it's external. The victory is in your mind before it's in your circumstances. The breakthrough happens in your thinking before it happens in your bank account. You have to win the war within before you can win the war without. And the war within is fought with truth. Truth about who you are, truth about whose you are, truth about what you carry, truth about what you're capable of. The truth is, you are not weak. You just believed a lie. The truth is, you are not ordinary. You just accepted average. The truth is, you are not stuck. You just stopped moving. The truth is, you are not finished. You just got tired. But tired is not the end. Tired is not failure. Tired is a feeling, not a fact. And you can't let your feelings dictate your future. You can't let your emotions determine your destiny. You have to make a decision that when you're tired, you'll keep going. When you're discouraged, you'll keep believing. When you're hurt, you'll keep loving. When you're disappointed, you'll keep hoping. When you're knocked down, you'll keep getting up. Because here's what I know about you. You've been knocked down before and you got back up. You've been hurt before and you survived. You've been disappointed before and you recovered. You've been rejected before and you kept going. So why stop now? Why quit now? Why give up now? You've come too far to turn back. You've invested too much to walk away. You've survived too much to surrender. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep believing. Keep fighting, because your breakthrough is closer than you think. Let me tell you what happens when you refuse to quit. When you refuse to give up. When you refuse to let weakness win. Something shifts. Something changes. Not just in your circumstances, but in you. You discover strength you didn't know you had. You develop a faith you didn't know was possible. You become a person you didn't know you could be. And that person, that version of you that emerges from the fire, that's the real you. That's the you that was hidden under the weakness. That's the you that was buried under the fear. That's the you that was trapped under the doubt. And when that version of you emerges, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop a person who knows who they are. Nothing can stop a person who knows why they're here. Nothing can stop a person who has made up their mind. Nothing can stop a person who has killed the weakness inside them and embraced the warrior they were born to be. That's who you are. That's who you've always been. You just forgot for a while. But today is the day you remember. Today is the day you wake up. Today is the day you rise up. Today is the day you take back what the enemy stole. Your joy, your peace, your purpose, your power, your potential. I want you to see yourself differently starting today. Not as a victim, but as a victor. Not as a survivor, but as a conqueror. Not as ordinary, but as extraordinary. Not as chosen by chance, but as chosen on purpose. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece. You are not random. You are intentional. And the God who created you did not make you to blend in. He made you to stand out. He made you to shine. He made you to lead. He made you to influence. He made you to change things. But you can't do that if you're still making excuses. You can't do that if you're still blaming your past. You can't do that if you're still waiting for permission. You can't do that if you're still listening to the voice of weakness. So today, we silence that voice. Today, we shut down that narrative. Today, we kill the weakness. How do you kill weakness? You starve it. You stop feeding it excuses. You stop feeding it doubt. You stop feeding it fear. You stop feeding it negativity. You stop feeding it complaints. And you start feeding your faith. You start feeding your vision. You start feeding your purpose. You start feeding your potential. Because whatever you feed will grow. And whatever you starve will die. So feed your faith with the Word of God. Feed your vision with images of success. Feed your purpose with action. Feed your potential with learning. Feed your mind with truth. Feed your heart with hope. Feed your spirit with worship. And watch what happens. Watch how quickly weakness dies when it has nothing to eat. Watch how fast doubt disappears when faith takes over. Watch how rapidly fear fades when courage shows up. You have everything you need inside you right now. You don't need more time. You need more focus. You don't need more resources. You need more resourcefulness. You don't need more talent. You need more tenacity. You don't need more opportunity. You need more obedience. You don't need more luck. You need more labor. You don't need more favor. You need more faithfulness. Everything you need, you already have. The question is, are you going to use it? Are you going to steward what's in your hand? Are you going to maximize the moment you're in? Are you going to honor where you are while you're on the way to where you're going? Or are you going to keep wishing for what others have while wasting what you have? See, comparison is the thief of joy and is also the thief of purpose. Because when you're busy looking at someone else's assignment, you're neglecting your own. When you're busy wishing you had their gift, you're wasting your own. When you're busy following their path, you're abandoning your own. Stay in your lane. Run your race. Fulfill your purpose. You are not them and they are not you. And that's not a problem. That's the plan. God didn't make copies. He made originals. You are an original. There's nobody else like you. There's nobody else with your fingerprint. There's nobody else with your voice. There's nobody else with your story. There's nobody else with your gift. There's nobody else with your purpose. And the world needs what you have, not what someone else has, what you have. But you'll never give it if you're still hiding. You'll never share it if you're still shrinking. You'll never release it if you're still afraid. So let go of the fear. Let go of the doubt. Let go of the insecurity. Let go of the shame. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the past. Let go of the pain. Let go of everything that's been holding you back, because it's time to move forward. It's time to step into your purpose. It's time to walk into your destiny. It's time to become who you were created to be. And when you do, when you finally kill the weakness inside you and embrace the warrior, when you finally stop making excuses and start making moves, when you finally stop talking about it and start being about it, everything changes. Your life changes. Your family changes. Your finances change. Your future changes because you changed. And when you change, everything around you changes. That's the power of transformation. That's the power of purpose. That's the power of living from your design instead of your dysfunction. That's the power of killing the weakness and releasing the warrior. And I'm telling you, the warrior in you is ready. The warrior in you is willing. The warrior in you is waiting for you to give permission, waiting for you to take action, waiting for you to step up and step out and step into everything you were created for. So what are you waiting for? What are you afraid of? What's holding you back? Whatever it is, it's not bigger than you. It's not stronger than you. It's not more powerful than the God inside you. And it's time to stop acting like it is. It's time to stop giving your obstacles more credit than your creator. It's time to stop magnifying your problems and minimizing your potential. It's time to change the narrative. It's time to change the conversation. It's time to change your life. And it starts today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when things get better, not when the time is right. Today, right now, right here, in this moment, you make a decision. You draw a line. You say, enough is enough. You say, I'm done with weakness. I'm done with excuses. I'm done with average. I'm done with mediocrity. I'm done with less. I'm stepping into more. I'm stepping into purpose. I'm stepping into power. I'm stepping into my destiny. And nothing is going to stop me. Not my past, not my pain, not my fear, not my doubt, not my circumstances, not my critics, nothing, because I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know what I carry. I know what I'm called to. I know what I'm capable of. And I'm not going to die with my music still inside me. I'm not going to die with my gift still wrapped. I'm not going to die with my purpose unfulfilled. I'm going to live. I'm going to love. I'm going to lead. I'm going to build. I'm going to create. I'm going to impact. I'm going to leave this world better than I found it. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to leave a legacy. I'm going to fulfill my assignment. And so are you. If you'll just kill the weakness inside you, if you'll just silence the voice of fear, if you'll just reject the spirit of mediocrity, if you'll just embrace who you were created to be, you can do this. You were made for this. You were born for this. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your season. Don't miss it. Don't waste it. Don't sleep through it. Wake up, rise up, stand up, and step into the fullness of who you are. Because the world is waiting for you. Not the weak version, not the scared version, not the small version, the real you, the powerful you, the purposeful you, the you that God designed before the foundation of the world. That's who they're waiting for. That's who they need. That's who you are. So kill the weakness. Embrace the warrior. And watch what God does with a life that's fully surrendered to purpose. Watch how he uses you. Watch how he promotes you. Watch how he provides for you. Watch how he protects you. Watch how he positions you. Watch how he empowers you. Watch how he blesses you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you're faithful. Not because you're the most talented, but because you refuse to quit. And that's what matters. That's what counts. That's what makes the difference. Not your talent, your tenacity. Not your connections, your consistency. Not your resources, your resilience. Not your IQ, your I will. Not your education, your determination. Not where you started, where you're going. And where you're going is up. Where you're going is forward. Where you're going is higher. Where you're going is into everything God promised you. So take the first step, make the first move, have the first conversation, write the first page, send the first email, make the first call, take the first risk, do the first thing, because the first thing leads to the next thing, and the next thing leads to the breakthrough. But nothing happens until you do something. Nothing changes until you move. Nothing shifts until you act. So act, move, do now. This is your moment. This is your message. This is your mandate. Kill the weakness inside you and become who you were born to be. An eagle, a warrior, a champion, a world changer, a history maker, a difference maker. That's who you are. Now go be it. And when they ask you years from now how you did it, how you turned it around, how you went from barely surviving to fully thriving, you tell them the truth. You tell them you got tired of being tired. You tell them you stopped negotiating with weakness and started walking in power. You tell them you remembered who you were. You tell them you decided that your purpose was more important than your pain. You tell them you refuse to die with your music still inside you. And most importantly, you tell them that they can do it too, because they can.